Hello everyone, my name is Nathan and today we're checking out Beltmatic, a simple math-based factory game all about numbers and conveyor belts. Without any further ado, let's dive into a new game. We can pan around either using the right mouse button or WASD. We can also zoom in and out and use the shift key to go faster. If I zoom out all the way, you can see the scale of the game. All of these numbers are extraction sites, so we're thinking numbers in terms of resources. In the center here, we have the hub with the current task. So what we have to do is bring 10 ones to this location. And at the bottom, we can see what we will unlock for that, the adder. Right now, we don't have an adder. So all we have to do is put an extractor on top of the one extraction site. Then we're going to grab a couple of belts and bring this all the way over here. Currently, there are no resource costs associated with placing any of the objects. I hope this is going to change in the future. And with that out of the way, we already unlocked the adder. Right now, the hub demands a number 2. However, we don't have access to the number 2 extraction site. We first have to make use of the adder. For that purpose, I'm going to click the demolish button or hit the X button in order to get rid of anything I placed before. Now, looking at the adder, we have two inputs, A and B, and then the operation that happens on the top, where we can also extract the results. R, in order to rotate things around, we're going to put that right here, then add a couple of belts like so, and then we should be getting the output, the number 2. Now, doing this operation actually takes a little while. We can improve on that with future upgrades, but for the time being, this is going to do. However, we can see because of the delay right here with the adder, we are not actually making use of the extraction site to its full potential. So instead, what we could do is have a couple of these adders next to each other. I could then extract this all the way over here and then just go ahead, add all of the ones, and they're going to be evenly distributed. Of course, we also have to extract them all like so. And just like that, we reached the next goal, and we also unlocked the upgrade section. That we reached the next goal, and we also unlocked. Now for the upgrades, we can see it was actually bad for me to already take apart the number 1 belt because we need a couple more in order to upgrade this. However, all I have to do for this is extract some more ones here and deliver those to the hub as well. The hub right now demands 3, so what we should do is extract a number 1 here and add the number 2. So we're going to have another adder here, bring this over there, and then extract the number 3 to go into the hub. At the same time, we still need to deliver number 2s, so what we can do for the time being is extract this over here and deliver it. Now, something cool we can do, of course, is just use this design because we're delivering 1, 2s, and 3 with this, and we can just copy it over to the next number 1 extraction site. Now, we already unlocked an upgrade here, belt level 1. Now we're belt level 2, and you can see it still requires level 1 items. So at this point, I might want to get rid of this and actually use this extraction site dedicated to just input number 1s into the hub. And here for now, we're going to deliver 2s and 3s until we come up with a better setup. I've reached the next level. We now need number 5s, and we also unlocked the extraction site for number 2. So all we have to do is hook up number 2 like so and just let this go. And that also means I can get rid of this number 2 and save it for something else. For now, I think I'm just gonna copy this over a couple of times since I have some extraction sites here, and then I can just go ahead and hook this up as well. So we deliver the 3s a little bit quicker. The extractor can be upgraded right now. We now need 2000 number 2s. Yeah, we definitely just keep this going. The next upgrade is going to be important. We will be getting the bridge, which is going to allow us to cross the belts. So I think instead of extracting the number 3 here, I'm going to go ahead and add it right here together with number 2. And this is going to equal 5. So we can also deliver the number 5 back to the hub. I'm going to get rid of this first part here and actually copy this one over. And there we go. That's the level reached. Now we need number 10s, but we can be way more efficient because of the bridge. So right now I want to get rid of everything again, just keep number 1 and 2 in place. Later we're also going to hook up number 3 right here and deliver this to the hub in order to satisfy the upgrade. Oh, I just see for the next upgrade there's actually a second condition. There might be a third one here. We need number 16s as well. So we'll be taking care of that soon. Right now what I'm going to do is come up with a quick design in order to get the number 10. Let's say we can satisfy approximately 5 of these adders. Maybe not quite. As a matter of fact, I'm only going to do 3 and then keep on going with one number 2. This should yield us a number 4s, which we can go ahead, combine over here, and then we're going to add it to another row. I'm just going to do 2 this time. This is going to result in 8. And we bring this over here one final time in order to get the number 10. So input this here, input that there, and this will be our result. Number 10 is then gonna go into the hub. And in order to collect this a little bit quicker, we're gonna be adding 2 more extraction sites like so, and just combine this all the way over there. In the meantime, I'm gonna modify this slightly because right now we don't need number 1s. We already satisfied this, but I can do something like this and make the number 3 in order to keep on going with that upgrade. And in the meantime, you can see we are delivering many 10s, no problemo. Wonderful. And just like that, we unlocked the 3 extraction site. I think I'm gonna be taking advantage of this guy here and just deliver this over there and directly into the hub. This means this can go back to number 1 in case we still need it. Now we need 12. So instead of delivering 10s, we are just gonna add 2 right here. Considering everything, I can probably go with 3 of these and then just add the 2 like so. And this is where the bridge is coming in very handy. Extract all of these guys and deliver them to the hub. Looks like we reached another upgrade, the adder. We can make this one faster. Now we need 11s. We're almost done here with level 6. Let's see what we need now. 24. That's just double. That's going to make it quite easy, though rather slow. So I'm just going to go ahead and input that right away and bring it over to the hub. Now we can already see some of the numbers are kind of lining up. So maybe one more adder will do the trick. And this, of course, also means we need to add a couple more of them. Theoretically, we need the same amount, right? Add all of these here and then extract them like so. In the meantime, maybe it's worth it to work on some of these numbers. 16 would be quite easy to achieve. Yeah, as a matter of fact, we can easily do that with the number 4. Unfortunately, I don't have the multiplication just yet, but let's say we're starting with 5 of these guys. Make sure we add all of the number 4s to get number 8s. And then add a couple more adders to get number 16. And just like that, we can now deliver this to quite easily and just work on that. We don't even need that many, just 500 for this one. And I'm actually gonna extract some 2s here as well, bring these a little bit over. So at the same time, I can also work on another project here, get the number 18 into the hub. And this is actually to upgrade the extractor another time. I just noticed by clicking this button, you can actually see what you're currently producing as well as the upcoming numbers for the hub to deliver. So after 24, we'll have to 34. And at our current rate, we're also getting about 1, 16 and 18 every 3 seconds. We're done with 24, we just have to upgrade this to 34 by adding another 10. So maybe we'll take this design here, we get another 10 over there, and then just bring this along. And then right here is where we probably can add it. So let's remove this for the time being. Get about 4 adders going here as well. Bring this into the A input, and then the 24 is going to go into the B input. Get all of these out of there, and then just bring them to the hub. At this point, we also unlocked the multiplier, which is going to allow us to make things more efficient, such as 4 times 4 is already equaling 16. So we don't have to do all of this shebang anymore. We can just go ahead and add a couple of these multipliers, bring all of these 4s into the inputs. And just like that, we now have the number 16. So this basically doubled the speed on that. I now quickly want to make a contraption for the number 11 so we can eventually upgrade the adder again. We're going to do this with 3 times 3 plus 2. So I have that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the plus 2 we're going to be doing right there. So hook all of these guys up. And then this is going to go directly into the A input of the adder. And then we just need number 2 as our B input. Get these guys out of here and that should result in 11. Gonna bring this all the way up and just input it into the hub. If I wait for this to be delivered, I should get the number 5 as an extraction site, which allows me to do 3 times 5 in order to do the first multiplier upgrade. And there it is, finally done. And yes, indeed, we now have access to number 5. So I think what I'm going to do is get rid of this. This is kind of obsolete. And I'm going to do 3 times 5 in order to get a whole bunch of 15s. So at least 5, maybe even 6 should do the trick. Number 3 gets hooked up to B and number 5 will be hooked up to A. All these 15s we can bring over here and possibly join up with this belt. Good. With all the upgrades being worked on now, what we should do is the number 41. 4 times 10 plus 1 would be an easy way to accomplish that. Let's actually get a 2 and a 5 for number 10, then a 4 and a 1. After that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gonna bring number 5 all the way down here to the A spot. Number 2 is gonna join the B spot. As a result, we get number 10, which we're gonna multiply with 4. So bring this over here. This doesn't have to be beautiful. In the end, this is just for one single level, but we're gonna hook this all up to the corresponding spots and we get number 40. And then the last thing we have to do is bring this over here in order to add 1. So we're gonna hook this up right there and then have number 1 go into the B slot. Finally, we have our 41 that we can deliver directly into the hub. Wonderful. In the meantime, we reached another upgrade, this one here, belt. Nice. And it looks as though we actually need to keep going with the number 16, which is a little bit disappointing. So we might have to improve on the efficiency here. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna do that by removing all of this that is responsible for number 18. And then we just bring the 16 into the belt there. This should allow me to create another 16 here and then maybe use this number 2 to make it more efficient. Add the 16 here and then the number 2 is gonna come down there. And that is gonna give us the 18 that we need to deliver to the hub as well. We just reached another upgrade that I'm gonna immediately take and it looks like we have to go for a rather big number, 80. That is quite a gap. It looks like because of the upgrade, my belts are now not quick enough, so I'm gonna make an additional line right there. But eventually we will upgrade the belts. Belt priorities unlocked the next level. That might be interesting. So number 41 doesn't really help at the moment. We would have to add another 10. I think I'm gonna copy this over and bring it to another level 2 extraction site, add an extractor to 5 and bring this over there. This is gonna give us another 10, just what we need, and I think we might be able to add it here. Or considering that this remains temporary, we can just also bring it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get all of these inputs sorted out, and we get the final result of 51. In the meantime, we unlocked another upgrade, extractor level 3. We already have a good setup for 16 and 18. What we need is a setup for 22 and 23. If we go 4 times 5 plus 2, we should accomplish that easily. I'm actually going to go ahead and make a couple of blueprints that we're not actively using, but where I can copy this from. So we can have something like this going on. Then we have 2 inputs right there. One is going to go into B. There we go. Something like this. So I have 2 inputs and I have the operation right there. And then all we need is the result. And this way I don't have to do the belts all the time myself. Let's say the result is going to go out at this point. So I actually have to bring this over here. Now I'm gonna do the same thing for the adder, have my inputs correctly set up. You get the basic gist. In the meantime, we unlocked another upgrade. I'm taking that, 75. Yeah, I'm first gonna take 22. So we need one of these bad boys in order to multiply 4 times 5. Gonna have this right here, and I can just lead the 4 into there and the 5 into there. That's making it much easier. And then we have to add the number 2, which we're gonna do here. Have this go into here and number 2 into there, and this is already our result. We can probably combine this on the belt there. We just unlocked priorities for intersections, so we can kind of decide where we want to lead the numbers first before they go into the other direction. We now need a number 85. I think I'm gonna be completely redoing that. So we take apart everything that had to do with filling up the hub. And right now we only have the upgrade numbers going into the hub. The 2 numbers we're now missing are 75 and 80. The next level is going to give us access to number 7. That might be useful. We can do 20 right there. And there's another 4 that would be 80. And then if I get another 5, that would be 85. So we get this bad boy going in order to multiply these guys. Yeah, let's just put it here and then get number 5 in there and number 4 in there. Then we have to multiply this again with 4. So we take the result there, bring it in here, and then we need to grab one of our adder designs and add that somewhere here. Doesn't really matter. And then just input these numbers as well. So we get 85 and we bring this all the way over into the hub. Wonderful. 85s are now coming in. I'm now going to do a similar setup for the number 80. So I just have to find a 5 and 2 4s close together. Like this one here is probably good enough. 4 times 5 and then times 4 again. So this is coming now all the way from the top here, quite a distance that it travels, but that's fine since the belts are free. And there it is, number 80 already coming in. This is something I can probably just leave, and it's gonna combine right here with the number 16 and then going into the hub. So now we also covered this number, and the only thing we haven't done yet is 75. For 75, it would be great to get access to number 7, so we can just do 10 times 7 plus 5 and it will be done. The belt upgrade is something I'm longing for dearly, so we can actually get rid of this congestion. I believe this is exactly what we need right now. Though maybe until this is done, we can just go ahead and actually make an extra line, bring this all the way down here. We can simply remove it later on again. I still need 23. I'm gonna do this with 4 times 5 plus 2 plus 1. Actually, I might just take number 3 there. 4 times 5 is gonna be quite easy. And then plus 3 right here, get this down there. And this should technically have the same speed as the 22 belt. We might be able to combine this. We also delivered the numbers to the hub. That means 102 is the next thing we need. I might just get rid of that again. Right now, I simply don't have the belt capacity to do shenanigans like this. Let's just get rid of that. And I'm gonna make an extra line for number 80 as well. Yeah, even number 22 and 23 cannot keep up together. What a shame. I desperately need that upgrade. So now all the numbers should be delivered on separate belts once the 22s are over here. Now I have access to 7s. Yeah, we can do something like that. 2 times 5 times 7, and then possibly there's another 5 around. So I have that 2 times 5 times 7. Bring this down here, this up there. Connect this and then times 7. Come on. And then simply add the 70 with the 5 right there. We need to bring this approximately over here and all the way down. Yeah, looking good. And directly into the hub. It has quite a long ways to go, but it is the only number we didn't have yet. So now we can just go ahead and relax, possibly do number 102. That might be good to get the next extraction, 8. I've just reached the next belt level, and this is the first time the first number actually disappeared. So number 1 is now out of the picture. That means I don't need this anymore. However, it might be in our best interest to upgrade number 16. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna be doing that right now. And what I want to see is 2 4s close together, so we can have something going on like this. Extract the 4s like so and so. And then I can combine the 16 together, so we get more 16 at a time. Now that's what I call an upgrade. Now looking at this, I wonder if we could get by just using one single extraction site, because it looks like the extraction sites have been upgraded quite a bit from what they were capable of outputting at first. Yeah, as a matter of fact, it is capable of keeping up. I'm kind of tempted to refine the design in this case. So now what I have here is basically a double design that is outputting the extraction number multiplied by itself. So now I could just cut this out and put it in the correct orientation, and then I have my number 16 here. I'm actually gonna grab this design and put it over here. So whenever we need to multiply a number by itself, we can do so easily. We're done with number 102. We now need 209. So we could multiply this by 2 and then add another 5. So let's grab some multiplication here. Number 2. Let's line this up right there. And then number 2 goes in here. And then we just need to extract number 5 as well. And go ahead, add that to the design right here. And we should be getting 209 as an output that we're going to be using to get to the next level. I'm not yet getting quite a full belt worth of 16s, so I'm just gonna add another line here and combine the two together. We can now do the same thing here. We need number 16 and then plus 2, so that would be my 16 and number 2. bring this back in here, and we should be producing a whole bunch more 18s. As a matter of fact, we can probably double our efforts here and add more 16s right there. We have another extraction level upgrade, very nice, and it looks like we might want to deliver more 15s, so let's actually double this here as well. Get those guys added like so, number 3 in here and number 5 in there. Get the number 15 extracted. Okay, I think I'm gonna keep on playing just a little bit until we unlock something nice. Actually, the subtractor is gonna be nice, but it's just basically calculating minus. And obviously there's also gonna be the division. So I'm just gonna keep on going a little bit until I unlocked more stuff and maybe cleaned up some of my designs. Alrighty, it is now a little bit later and you can see the numbers are getting higher and I'm also delivering a little bit more. In terms of upgrades, we've made some substantial progress, and eventually once you actually unlock more upgrades, the first number gets eliminated out of the picture. So that means I could get rid of my first few extraction sites, like the number 22 for instance, and I also made a bunch of markers so I know which number I'm producing where. I also already unlocked the subtractor, which is interesting. So if there is like a multiplication that gets you really close to the number, but maybe you overshoot a little bit, then you can use the extractor and just make sure that isn't the case. Like I think I've done that with the number 730. I first calculated 9 times 9 times 9, which gets me all the way to 729, and then I just have to add 1. But I've also got a subtraction here, like for the number 565, I calculated 7 times 9 times 9 and then minus 2. Now at the moment I don't really see how I'm gonna be using the divider. That really doesn't make sense. As long as the numbers are raising, we can reach all the numbers just with adding, multiplying and subtracting. So I made one design for each of these types of operations. I can just control V and then shift and scroll through the various blueprints, so I have all of them available. At the moment I'm going for number 643 here for the next upgrade. That's going to be level 17, just unlocking another extraction site. The highest number we have access to right now is number 11, maybe? Yeah, I think so. But at a certain point, I will have to pull out a calculator in order to estimate what is the nicest way to actually get to a number. Right now, I've done almost all here, except for the numbers that are above 1,000. So in order to get to 2,160, I can't do that math in my head anymore. Okay, I got it. For number 2160, we could do an easy multiplication. We could do 3 times 9 times 5 times 8 times 2. Let's say we got a 9 right here and a 3 right there. I'm bringing these close together. Then we just go ahead and multiply these guys. Then I need a number 5, bring this over here. We're multiplying these guys again. Then I need a number 8 all the way over there, bring this over and go ahead, multiply this once again. And then finally, we just need the number 2 right there and do the final multiplication. And this way we can basically do all the numbers. Sometimes we'll have to add or subtract in order to get a good result and do things with less operations. But this contraption here is now giving me the 2160 that I needed. I want to bring this all the way up and over here. So this is then going into the hub all the way over there. And just like that, we can have one dedicated belt for each of these numbers. The hub is large enough for that. And then once I reach this number, I could probably already get rid of it. So the 80 I probably don't need to collect anymore, because with the next upgrade, these numbers are going to move over and 80 is going to be out of the picture. But just to be on the safe side, I'm going to leave it there until I can go for the upgrade. Okay, I'm back and it is quite a bit later, maybe an hour or so. I'm currently lingering at level 20. The highest number I can extract, I believe, is the number 13 right now. And if we have a look at the upgrades, the numbers are basically just going up. But we also now have the exponentiator, which allows us to reach high numbers quite quickly. If we just test this out right here, I should have a design somewhere. Right there, actually. So I can just put this right here, extract the number 8. 8. And if I actually do this, which basically means 8 times 8 times 8 times 8, 8 times, so we already get a number above 16 million. We could do something that makes a little bit more sense. For instance, 11, add that to the number or input A, and then a number 4 would be going into the other inputs, and this already gives us a high number, but that isn't quite as high. Right here, it's 14,000. So that's already quite close to an upgrade we actually need. The only issue I really have with this is my brain isn't smart enough to do this in my head. So a much better idea is to probably just put the calculation with X, Y, and Z into an AI in order to get an appropriate result. For instance, if I were to calculate, let's say, the 13,923, I want to make an equation that looks something along these lines and just input that into a AI, giving me a possible solution. But yeah, apart from the equations getting more difficult, I think we unlocked everything. What else would there be to get to unlock? I'm not 100% sure, but I think we got to explore the basic gist of the game. After that, maybe it's time to come up with a couple of designs. Let's say a design that is bringing you to 1,000 or 10,000, and then you can always copy over the design in order to get those 1,000s. And this way we don't have to do too many difficult calculations. We could just do 3 times 10,000 here, and then we are left with 1,738 that we still have to satisfy. So that is probably the next thing that I would do. So instead of just having these set up as general math calculations, we could make them reach a specific number that we then can use over and over again. But yeah, I think with that out of the way, we are ready to wrap up the video. I sure hope I could give you an insight into this game, and if you fancy a little bit of math combined with a factory game, then I highly recommend you this. But without any further ado, let's wrap it up. Thank you so much for supporting the video, have a great time, and hopefully I'm going to catch you in the next one. Bye bye.